What's up YouTube? I'm Danielle and this is Kitchen Optimist. I'm a novice cook but expert eater taking on recipes that scare the salt out of me 1 teaspoon at a time. I'm going to try to recreate one of my favorite dishes from the now closed Devi restaurant in Flatiron, New York. I will say towards the end it got a little iffy. I think it switched ownership or chefs or something, but when this was good, it was awesome. I'm talking about the GOBI Manchurian cauliflower. What I remember is it was sweet, spicy, fried, salty, all of that. It's great. What's not to like? I'm using a recipe from IndianHealthyRecipes.com. I'll have the recipe linked in the description bar below. I've never used any of her recipes before, but assuming this goes well, I will be revisiting it. This one's been on my list for a while. Now that I'm a little bit more comfortable with using cornstarch, I know that seems silly that's scary, but it's not something I was familiar working with. And I am properly prepared with long sleeves and a dark color. Again, frying, spatter, searing skin. I don't like that. But I feel properly prepared to combat both. She explains that it's actually an Indo-Chinese dish, and she gives a couple of options, either with a sauce or without. I'm not really sure what I'm doing yet. I think I'll decide when I get there. Probably dangerous for me. So the first thing I need is 250 grams of cauliflower florets. I bought pre-floreted cauliflower head. This is 680 grams, so I think I'm gonna double it. That is optimistic of me, I know, but hey, let's live on the edge. So I'm looking for 500. So we have our florets and we have to soak them in hot water. Now, not warm water, not very hot water, not boiling water, hot water. I'm gonna aim for the temperature I would like if I was in the shower. I don't know. I hate ambiguous directions. Give me a temperature or just say hot. But once you get in there with the not too hot, I don't know what to do with that. Okay, now I'm gonna let these rest for 5 minutes and start prepping some of the other stuff. So for the sauce, I guess I'm not making it fully dry. For the sauce, I'll need 2 tablespoons of chopped garlic, 1 tablespoon of finely chopped ginger, and that's me doubling the recipe. Green chilies are listed as optional in this recipe. I'm not using them because my husband doesn't love a lot of spice. I'm also not using the optional capsicum, or as Americans know them, bell peppers, because I don't like them. You need 2/3 of a cup onions or spring onions. I feel like spring onions, just really big green onions. So I'm gonna use the white parts of the green onions, finely chopped, because why not? Oh shoot, it's definitely been longer than 5 minutes of me soaking that cauliflower. She also says to leave it to dry off for a while. I don't know how long that is. Well, guess I'll be getting another onion. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. It's either 2 to 3 tablespoons of red chili sauce, which I don't have, or 2 teaspoons of hot sauce. I don't know. This isn't that hot. So I think what I'm gonna do, 1 tablespoon, this type of hot sauce, which is 2.5 teaspoons. And then 1 to 2 tablespoons of ketchup, optional. Oh shit, I didn't take into account the fact that I'm doubling it. I'm gonna do another tablespoon of this. I really don't think it's that hot, so hopefully husband will be okay with it. 1 to 2 tablespoons of ketchup, and this is optional for using hot sauce, probably for the sweetness. I don't know. I'll do 3. So 1 teaspoon of chili powder, which is optional. I opt in. Now this is a little confusing to me. She says rice vinegar, but that she uses apple cider vinegar. So I'm not sure if there is apple cider rice vinegar in Singapore and not here. Very possible. Or if she's just giving another option. So I'm gonna use rice vinegar because I have it. There's so many things in this. So I need 2 teaspoons sugar, adjust to taste. Okay, I'm not sure what to do there. She has the 2 times and 3 times button available on the recipe, so if you are going to double or triple it, I would suggest that you just click that rather than trying to remember to do that math in your head. 1 cup of all-purpose flour. half a cup of cornstarch, 1 to 2 teaspoons of chili powder. Let's go 1.5, shall we? Half a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of water or more. It needs to be a free-flowing batter. Whoops. I was supposed to mix and the water a little bit at a time to keep it from clumping, which I certainly did not do. This is not free-flowing. She has pictures of what she means by free-flowing, and this is nowhere near close. So let's add water in to free-flowify it. I'm a little worried because I didn't follow directions. And I put my water in all at once without mixing, that some of the flavors won't be properly distributed. There is nothing I can do about that now, so I'm going with it. And that's free-flowing. The consistency has to be medium and not too thick and not too runny. So more of my favorite types of descriptions, but I'm gonna hope that this suits that. She uses a type of pot/pan called a kadai or a kadai. I'm not sure the pronunciation. To me, it looks sort of like an Indian wok. I don't have either a wok or a kadai. I'm gonna use a Dutch oven to heat the oil. Okay, I've used almost 3/4 of this for frying, waiting for that to heat up. Pat these guys dry a little bit further. Just, they're not dry, they don't crisp up is the warning. I mean, I'm not gonna say that they are bone dry. They're also gonna be dipped in batter, so that is going to re-wet them. I have a few like super large monstrous pieces, so I'm gonna cut those. So my battery died while I was adding part of the cauliflower in and coating it completely in the batter. I added about a half a teaspoon more of salt to taste as directed. I don't know, I hate stuff like that. Okay, I think that's ready. I think I need more oil. They're not totally covered. I guess I'm using this whole entire bottle. Those are gonna be the sacrificial pieces because now the oil's the wrong temperature. They're supposed to turn golden and crisp. I don't know. Doesn't seem crisp, so I guess I'll leave it in. This seems crisp. 3 tablespoons of avocado oil because I am out of vegetable oil. Garlic and ginger in. Then onions. Now the sauce. Oh, I need to add water too. Honestly, I think that's how many, but it's cooking so fast that I just went with it. It actually needs a little more sweetness. And I don't actually think it needs any more pepper. Maybe I'll do a little too. Okay, taking it off of heat and letting it cool. The cauliflower back in and gently stir to coat. We have a garnish of green onion. Okay, let's try it. Okay, I really like the flavor. So I admittedly ate more than a couple of my florets before they had sauce on them, and they were predictably much crispier then. I've pretty much lost all that crispiness. And the florets themselves aren't that crispy either, which probably means that I didn't let the cauliflower dry sufficiently. I'm not sure what time she starts and does the cauliflower to make sure it's dry in time. I really like this. It needs some tweaks. I find her site a little bit harder to navigate. I'm not sure, for some reason, I had a harder time reading and following directions on this. Maybe the way it's laid out, I'm just not used to it. Regardless, the instructions are there and I know how to read, so that's on me, not her. I don't think I let the oil get hot enough either. There is an instruction somewhere in there, which I couldn't find while the oil was boiling, that the batter needs to rise without browning, and that's when you know it's the right temperature. I don't know how the batter behaves well enough to really see, is that fully browned or not. Here's what I'll say. She clearly knows how to make this. It seems like it's probably very second nature to her. So a lot of the directions that are like thin but not too thin, hot but not too hot, salt your batter to taste, those types of things are a little bit harder for me and for anybody who's not the best cook. I think that got in my way. Also, what got in my way is then I got frustrated and impatient. I did too many florets in the oil at a time. I should have done fewer. I also now know I will need more than 48 ounces of oil. I think I could have done with a little bit more. I've never used this much oil in frying anything before. I'm a JV fryer. I do like it. I will eat that whole batch. I mean, my husband will get some, but I'll probably eat most of it because it might be a little spicier than he likes. But that's just personal preference. I really like this. I will make it again. I'll try those tweaks that I mentioned. I also made this after making another recipe today, and I think that really affected my patience and my ability to follow directions as well. I'm really happy with this. I would absolutely serve this to people, and that's really my barometer for if a dish is good or not. Swati says this takes 35 minutes to make. 10 minutes of prep and 25 minutes of cook time. She must not be including the washing and drying of the cauliflower because I let mine dry for longer than that and mine's a little mushy. It took me 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 46 seconds. So if you are also a Gobi Manchurian novice, err on the side of 2 hours rather than 35 minutes would be my advice. So cost-wise, the ingredients were $53.18. It includes a lot of things you probably already have in your kitchen, ketchup, flour, sugar, the like. But I think it's a bit disingenuous when recipes give you the breakdown of what 1 teaspoon of pepper costs because you can't buy 1 teaspoon. You have to buy the whole container, so I like to include all of that. The total equipment cost was $572.85. The big ticket item there is the Le Creuset pot. That's $440. That accounts for a lot of the equipment cost. So here's what I'll say. If you have a great Indian restaurant nearby and they serve this, it probably makes more sense to just order it. I don't have that. There aren't Indian restaurants super close to where I am, and there's a lot of Indian restaurants that don't serve it. So this is a totally serviceable, acceptable recipe. The recipe is better than that. The results need some tweaks. They need some patience from me. They need some reading from me. They need some specificity from the directions. But all in all, it's a win. I'm not like jumping up and down. I can't wait to serve this to people, but I would be completely happy to do so. I do hate the amount of oil that I end up having to discard. It feels wasteful to me, even though it is not. That's a me thing. The recipe will be linked in the description. Check it out. Check out her other recipes. I know I'm going to also. While you're down there, let me know. Are there any dishes that you're afraid of trying? Should we try them together? We'll add it to the list. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm Danielle, and this is Kitchen Up. Fighting the good fight for mediocre cooks everywhere. Stay salty.